The Moxley Hangman rematch for the world title is happening next week on Dynamite. People are already a little bit mad because it's about to break wrestling. What I mean by that is that people cannot handle a world title match being on television anymore, which I do not understand. Doesn't make any sense to me. It goes right over my bald head. And as I will say on all my videos, if you feel like you need to spend your pay-per-view money, send it to me. I'll take it. I'll take that money and I'll spend it on a nice new wig. That'll be nice for all of us. I love the fact when companies do this because I want every company to do well. But as a fan, I don't need to worry about metrics or business numbers or ratings. I just have to care about me. I'm a one-on-one. That's my audience. So if I get to have a free, for lack of a better term, world championship match on television, especially a flipping rematch from the biggest event that AEW arguably has ever done, sign me up. I'm in. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to enjoy that. And I just think what's the word I'm looking for? Atmosphere, the environment is totally different now because the end of Dynamite ended with the Death Riders coming out and they're beating up Mark Briscoe because he beat Claudio Castagnoli. They're all mad. When Hangman Adam Page's music hit, they didn't scramble. They didn't go to get him. They were scared, man. They were intimidated. John Moxley was like, oh, man, it comes to Cowboy. Even though he called him out earlier saying, you don't want a rematch with me. And let's face it, All In, I made one mistake. And anybody can make one mistake, but can you do it day in, day out? That's the real sign of a champion. Adam got right in his face. He wasn't scared either. He said, oh, you actually think I won't do this? Next week, Dynamite, it's my rules. This is where the internet then broke down again, which we'll get to in just 1 second. Everybody is banned from ringside, other than the referee. Whip, spam, boom. That's what we're going to do in 7 days. So, what does that mean? That's an interesting way to say it, right? It's not really natural English because you would just presume that a referee was going to be in the ring. I said there's some ups and downs. For Dynamite, you can check that over at What Culture Wrestling. Subscribe to them and subscribe to me. That's my sort of step-by-step review. This is us talking in a bar. But it is like going, no cheese allowed apart from pizza. You'd be like, but that means there is going to be some cheese allowed. Who is this referee going to be? Is something going to happen on Collision? Maybe he was just trying to be as literal as possible and we're all overthinking it. But of course, as you should do, it's the best part about wrestling, letting your fantasy booking brain go totally nuts. Some people are like, oh no, it means John Moxley is going to win that championship back because the referee is going to be Claudio, it's going to be Wheeler Yuta, which actually tie in to potentially another story. Maybe it's going to be Marina Shafir. We wait and see. How you justify that, I don't know. That'd be super duper weird, but I don't think that's going to happen. And even if it did, I mean, I think switching the belt back to Moxley now would be a mistake because people like Hangman, they're into Hangman. You should always serve the audience, you should always serve the fans. They wanted him to win at the pay-per-view and he should continue on for at least 6 months, I would say, or at least a good chunk of time, unless something comes up in the meantime that does make sense. But I think it's good that it has jeopardy, and I think it's awesome that John Moxley still has the credence that you could totally believe that he could win the title back. And I also kind of think it means the Death Riders have done their job as well, because you're like, well, they are banned from ringside, but maybe they're still going to figure out a way to do it. We wait and see. AEW could even do a schmoz, right? They could go full on WWE, and people just run down, you get the disqualification. I hope they don't do that. I think all wrestling companies, by and large right now, I mean, it is just WWE more than AEW, but they are still doing it. You kind of use the roll-up to be like, oh, it doesn't really count, or use a distraction, or it doesn't really count. We should use those things. They've become a little bit too tropey. I would like to try and shift across the other way, but we wait and see. Again, it's all about execution. Sometimes you can get 4 roll-ups on a show, and it works. It's very rare. For me, I think it should be 1 per show just because of the, what's the word? I get confused with my words today. But to do with the use of it in the past, right? That's the least elegant thing I've ever said in my entire life. But it has been spammed. And yes, it's mostly been spammed by other companies, but wrestling is still wrestling. And if you watch all of it, you do see a lot of them and your eyebrow starts to raise. I mean, the counterpoint to this is people going, oh, I can't believe that AEW have money in the bank briefcases now because they've got the magical contracts. It's a thing that people do. WWE don't steal all their ideas, but wrestling is cyclical. All ideas come from somewhere else. Where do you think War Games came from, right? WWE didn't make that up, but that's a good thing. If it's a good idea and it can work in your story, don't not borrow it. I haven't said this for a while. Let's bring back an old one for the old school fans. It's like active reload in Gears. Other third-person shooters didn't just steal that. Active reload is one of the best mechanics in gaming history. Oh, we can't do it because Gears of what? Steal it. Steal it. I just want to enjoy myself. But no, I don't think John Moxley will win. But I love the fact it doesn't feel like, well, this is an obvious rematch. And the way that Hangman worded that was super interesting. And isn't it nice to have a strong babyface champion who is all like, man, this is my rules. You want it? This is what you're going to get. And John Moxley agrees. Now, it could be Wheeler Yuta. Now, I don't know how we get there, but the first match was Wheels versus Hangman, because on Collision, the Death Riders tried to kill Colt Cabana. That had what happened. So Hangman was like, well, I need to get revenge, because that was a pile of BS. He beats him really quickly, which was the right thing to do. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago when it was Wheeler Yuta versus Samoa Joe. I don't mind Wheeler Yuta being presented as a threat, but he hasn't been presented as a threat for a long old time. He has been the butt of a joke in many ways for the Death Riders, or the whipping boy. So you can't all of a sudden take on the world champion and be competitive, right? I just actually think that is the law of diminishing returns. Whereas Hangman here came across as the coolest dude ever, but he was going to hang him like he had done John Moxley at the pay-per-view, and he didn't do it. Instead, he was like, are they coming out to save you? No, they're not. Now, you can argue this both ways. Maybe the Death Riders, like we said, are scared of Hangman, or maybe they just don't care about Wheeler Yuta. So you could put Wheeler Yuta in that official position, and then he does count the three. He's like, I'm not helping you, John Moxley. You were actually going to let me die. Do you need to do that? Not necessarily. Would it be a nice touch? Maybe. But all of it is good. All of it is great. Love the fact that people are panicking about this and going, oh no, it's going to happen. That's the kind of reaction you want. And let's not forget, sometimes tragedy is the right emotion. Not here, right? Tragedy is not the right emotion. The Bee Gees would not be apt to come in and start singing that right now. But I just think it's working. And I like the fact that AEW is sticking with the program, because sometimes they do kind of blow things off at pay-per-views. They will come back around to it eventually, but you don't really smudge them together like this. I think it's a massive plus that we're doing it. Moxie feels like a mega heel. Hangman feels like the main character and then some. What a hero. He's having a great 2025. Again, I think he's in the number one position so far. People are nipping at his toes, but he's certainly there. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll make for a good Dynamite. The Will Ospreay stuff, I think we should address too. Just sad. Really, really sad. And I mean that in the literal sense. Not like, oh man, you're so sad, which sometimes people go, I can't believe you said that, Simon. Are you sad like tears? Water coming out of your seeing devices. Now, who knows what's true and what's not true? And the only reason I say that is he mentioned having neck problems and spinal problems and herniated discs, and yet somehow he's going to be back in 1 month, essentially. That's when Forbidden Door is. Listen, I only care about Will Ospreay's health. I said this on Ups and Downs too. He could retire tomorrow, and he's a GOAT level for what he's brought to wrestling. That would drive people nuts. But he created his own version of this thing, which is very, very impressive. But listen, if that's what doctors have told him, then we have to to them. Like, it doesn't matter what I say. I couldn't even keep my hair. So what do I know? But if you need some time off, it's the UK show, so I do understand, but take some time off, bro. Bruv, you know, we don't need to see you back constantly, but it's his decision. But I just want to send him all the best, right? Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world. You want to see him on TV, but you want to see him healthy as well. And he's talked a lot about sort of injuries he has had over the years, because he does have such an intense, mad style. I mean, that's all we really need to say about it. I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing good. I met him a couple of times, really nice person, and that's neither here nor there. You never want anyone to get injured, but it's still true. Just want to send him the best. We'll draw a line under it. Otherwise, Swerve versus Okada is coming. Good. We got Hechicero versus Swerve. Totally random, but it was fun. Really like Hechicero and the Don Callis family. Pretty sure Don Callis in Spanish said, I am Hechicero. Would have been intentional. Very, very good. And it ends with absolute craziness. Well, this actually ended with a disqualification, which AEW is very good with. They don't overdo them. Just so bored. I'm so bored of disqualifications. And this is certainly a Simon Miller problem, for sure. A Simon Miller who is very blessed to watch all the wrestling shows issue. That's what it is. It's very, very specific. But again, it just becomes like, we've got Hechicero, we don't want to beat him because we're trying to push him in the Don Callis family. Swerve restricted again. Super huge mega babyface. One of the main players we have here. So we'll just have a disqualification. It's just like, well, why did we do the match to begin with? And we did it to progress storylines. And of course, Okada and Swerve tried to murder each other after this as well. Lots of attempted murder in AEW. I just think, and this is me now moving away from AEW. This is not AEW part of the video. This is the pro wrestling part. It'd just be cool if all companies could sit down and go, what can we do differently? How can we be more creative here? What can we do? We've seen it in fits and spurts with a couple of things I'm not going to mention now, because I'll only mention one company and then people get mad at me. I'm not in the mood today. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I think we've kind of got to, and I may be exaggerating here, we've got to a crossroads where it's a bit like, all right, who's going to come up with what will become the brand new wrestling trope? And this can happen, right? There was a time when people weren't doing surprise roll-ups all of the time. And there was a time, well, maybe in WCW in the year 2000, when we weren't getting DQs all the time, or run-ins. Well, the run-ins come from the Attitude Era, which actually kind of tie into the ECW era, which was 20 years ago. And listen, it's difficult now because you need the context of the time. But if you go back and watch Extreme Championship Wrestling in like 96, 97, that may be too early, I don't know. But that period, they're doing a bunch of stuff. You're like, wow, that was really interesting. I've never seen that before. And I think I'm kind of more interested in that at the moment. Not that it's going to affect my enjoyment of wrestling really, but it's something I did fill in my tum-tum. Speaking of tum-tum, that's what MJF said during his promo, Mark Briscoe. He said warm and fuzzy. He didn't say the tum-tum bit. Now, warm and fuzzy is a very common phrase, but you know, I'm a very lonely man. I need to take whatever I can get. MJF, once again, is just doing great work. He confronts Hangman at the start of the show and says, I'm not going to use my magical contract. And then sort of, you know, Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate get super mad at him because he doesn't like the fact that they're not helping him at the moment, essentially. And Adam Copeland obviously hired the Hurt Syndicate to take out FTR. Really cool booking that. That's fun stuff because that's exactly what the Hurt Syndicate would do. But Bobby Lashley now wants him out of the group. MVP is pissed off. Shelton Benjamin gave him the sad nod. He walked away. So like MJF kind of does feel alone, but still cocky and arrogant because that's what he's like. Has the amazing promo off with Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe made me laugh twice because he said, much like your kosher pickle, this is going to be short, which is a wonderful line, and that he was going to shove a microphone so far up MJF's ass. Well, he was going to do it, but he can't because he'd get fined because nobody would be able to recover it. Made me laugh out loud. The man is great. Obviously, then MJF used Jay Briscoe to get under Mark's skin again. They have a big schmoz before we moved on to the next match, which was Claudio versus Mark Briscoe in the main event. I've said this all over the place, and this is the good thing about doing this for a long time. You can actually get your values out there. If Mark Briscoe and the family are happy for them to talk about Jay Briscoe, then that's up to them. It's something to do with me. I can think it's in bad taste or in good taste or not for me or for me, for lack of a better term. But it's their decision, right? And they absolutely get to make that. And also, I do believe that MJF saying it is in time with his character. If we are to believe that wrestling is real when we're watching it, that guy would say that. It'd be weirder if he wouldn't say that. For me, in the past, there have been these kind of moments where it has gone too far. A lot of the Jeff Hardy stuff for me crossed the line, especially that one when there's something happened with Sheamus in a parking lot with a car. That one was like, oh, this feels too familiar to real life. This one doesn't really make me feel that way. I guess maybe because I just totally believe that Mark Briscoe is handling it the way that he wants to. I don't know. Again, some people like to say, oh, 4 years ago you said this. I know, but things change, man. It all depends how you feel on the day, how you wake up, what happened the day before, what's going to happen the day after. We're human beings, and nothing's linear. A lot is it's not black and white. It's areas of grey. But these two just have great chemistry, and I'm super excited to see where we're going to go. I want to see the singles match. If MJF does become the champion, I don't mind if Mark Briscoe becomes a challenger then too, so maybe he can win there. And then we go back to it. Just wonderful babyface, wonderful heel. Sometimes that's all I need in wrestling. Simple but effective, no problem with that whatsoever. And the Toni Storm Athena stuff is great. Like, we're not even holding back with that one. Athena is threatening to use the magical contract. She's sending Billy Starks out to get there. Toni Storm wins the match. I didn't really understand Alex Windsor interfering or doing the save. I guess she's meant to be friends with Toni Storm, but she's facing Athena on a collision for the ROH title. I would have let Athena cash in. They got, right, I'll take you on for both of them. This is me being a nerd, but it's good to get Alex Windsor on Dynamite, obviously, to help her establish herself more with the AEW audience. But Billy Starks and Athena on Dynamite is just perfect. They're a great team. Billy Starks is 20 years old. She's going to be so damn good. She'd be like another Roxanne Perez, just gets better and better in front of our eyes. And Athena has earned her spot, for lack of a better term. I mean, she had done ages ago. The fact she does have this amazing championship reign kind of matches what Toni Storm is doing with the AEW women's title. Good match, fun match. We don't know what they're going to do. Is she going to call her shot all out, or maybe Forbidden Door? Doesn't feel like you do it at Forbidden Door because you want some kind of crossover matches. But it was good, and it worked, and I liked it, and it ticked the box. I just thought this whole episode of Dynamite, as well as the tag team title tournament, I think we could have promoted that a bit more. But again, that's probably just me. But FTR versus Jet Speed, old school versus new school, super damn fun. FTR have gone through because they cheated. Of course, they would have done that. And that's when the whole Hurt Syndicate thing happened with Adam Copeland. I loved that. It was just such a... I mean, you can argue it's not a very babyface thing to do, but that's okay. They tried to kill him. He's allowed to be mad. And the fact it then tied into the MJF stuff, that's good booking. That gets a round of applause. I like it when the streams are crossed. I like what the Ghostbusters told us, and it does make sense. I can't remember whether the finals are at Forbidden Door or the tag team title matches at Forbidden Door, but given that FTR just got beaten up by the Hurt Syndicate, FTR can absolutely win this. Then not only do they have tournament justification, they have beat-up justification too. I don't know who else is in this. There was a bracket. I'm not sure I looked at it, which sounds stupid. I saw it, but I don't remember any names, so maybe I've gone absolutely crazy. The Guns were meant to be in it, but Colton Gunn got injured, which is so damn sad. Like, that is such horrible timing, so I hope he's doing all right as well. I would have FTR go all the way. I presume the Bucks will be in it. I don't know. But I think this is a real opportunity to make sure those tag team titles feel maybe how they once were. They're in a decent position, but I think they can be in a great position, which is why I think it would have been cool with a couple of weeks build and maybe some promos focusing on it. Because the more people talk about things, the more it's sold to you in your eyes and in your face. You just believe in it more, right? It's what people do before a pay-per-view. The main event's going to be amazing. If the main event just popped up on the day, you wouldn't feel as pumped about it. It's a simple thing. Again, probably more on me than anybody else. But AEW, I think, is in a really good place. I'm enjoying Dynamite a lot. I think they've come out of All In, and they've kept all the momentum up. And again, look at the matches we're probably going to get. Swerve versus Okada. Can't get mad at that. Hangman versus Mox 2. Can't get mad at that. Athena versus Toni Storm. MJF versus Mark Briscoe. And I really do think FTR vs. the Hurt Syndicate is on the menu as well. Don't know what we're going to do with Jet Speed. They're kind of in a weird limbo pattern at the moment, but they're so talented. They'll always get themselves over in the ring. I guess we got to do Edge and Christian. I say Edge there, I can't help it. Taking on FTR at some point. The Patriarchy did mention something about Collision. Christian Cage's got to come back at some point. No idea how you portray him as the babyface. Last time we saw him, he was still like, man, I'm going to kill all your daddies. Oh, all right, yeah, cool, cheers, thanks for that. Nice memory to put in my head. But overall, very, very watchable, very, very fun. I gave it an up, should you care. There's a spoiler for you. But of course, more importantly, I want to know what you thought about Dynamite. Haters of AEW always watch these videos. Welcome. I appreciate you all. Go on, man. Have at me. I'm right here. I look at those comments. You can say horrible things. Shout out to the guy that called me the effing C word the other day because I liked a wrestling match. Oh, more for me. Like the video. Share the video. Subscribe. Click the notification bell. Click subscribe. I'd massively appreciate that. The video on the screen is me talking about Roman Reigns reuniting the bloodline. Quite clearly going to happen now. Basically confirmed. Otherwise, go to patreon.com/Simon316 for watch-alongs. Having a good old time there. We're about to do Bret Hart versus the Bulldog at SummerSlam. You're damn right. Pumped for that. GrillerMind.com/Simon. These are supplements I use. Bodybuilding, weightlifting supplements, protein, creatine, all that stuff. You get 10% off with the code Simon. It ships worldwide. They're good. I wouldn't pick them out otherwise. Come follow me on social media because it's good for my ego. Simon316. Come get a personalized cameo video at Simon Miller. Check me out on TikTok on Simon J. Miller. And then Big Cartel and Pro Wrestling tees for wrestling t-shirts featuring my dumb catchphrases. Most importantly, be well, be healthy, enjoy your life, enjoy wrestling too. That's what life is all about. Now see you soon.